After years of speculation, the latest developments have shaken the financial world. The U.S. Treasury has reportedly confirmed that the Iraqi Dinar SRV rate is now in the stage of final processing. This means the long and complex technical steps validation of figures, integration with international banking systems, and alignment with global forex platforms are underway. For investors, this is not just another rumor. The involvement of the Treasury gives serious weight to the belief that a new official IQD rate is imminent. What was once seen as impossible is now moving into the realm of reality. The IQD has always carried a unique aura in the investment world. Many bought into it during times when Iraq's economy was unstable, holding on to the belief that one day its currency would rise again. Now, with rate processing underway, patience may finally pay off. Long-term holders are on the verge of seeing potentially life-changing gains. Banks are preparing systems. Reports suggest some U.S. and Middle Eastern banks are updating their platforms to recognize the new rates. Investor behavior is shifting. Those who once doubted are now scrambling to confirm whether they still have a seat at the table. The stakes are enormous, and the sense of urgency among investors has never been higher. The RV of the Iraqi dinar is not just about Iraq, it has geopolitical and financial consequences worldwide for Iraq. A new, stronger currency could accelerate reconstruction, attract foreign investment, and stabilize the economy. Oil revenues, trade agreements, and global credibility would all benefit for the region. Neighboring countries, especially those in the Gulf, will watch closely. A rising dinar could influence regional economic policies. For global markets, forex traders anticipate volatility as the new rate gets integrated. Some analysts predict short-term shocks followed by long-term stability. Once the IQD finds its new value, this ripple effect makes the RV not just a local event but a global turning point in 2025 economics. When news of the Treasury's confirmation broke, it was not just a financial update, it became an emotional earthquake for millions of investors worldwide. For over a decade, Iraqi dinar holders have been riding a roller coaster of rumors, false alarms, and endless waiting. Some bought their notes years ago, when the idea of an RV seemed like nothing more than a dream. They held on through wars, political crises, and endless speculation. Now, with confirmation of rate processing, emotions are at an all-time high. Let's break down what investors are feeling. For many, this is the moment of validation. The countless nights of research, the arguments with friends and family, the patience through financial hardship, all of it now feels worth it. Investors describe this excitement as almost overwhelming. They're checking their phones constantly for updates. Some are already planning what life could look like post-RV new homes, debt-free living, or even generational wealth. Hope is turning into confidence. This excitement is not just about money, it's about finally seeing faith rewarded. But alongside the joy comes nervous tension. Investors know the history of delays and disappointments, the big questions running through their minds. What if the Treasury delays again? What if banks aren't ready to exchange? What if this is another false signal? This anxiety is understandable. After years of waiting, nobody wants to be crushed by another postponement. The fear of missing out or worse, being tricked is very real. For some, the news brings tears of relief. People who invested 10, 15, or even 20 years ago are finally saying to themselves, I wasn't crazy for holding on to this. The finish line is real. This sense of relief is deeper than money. It represents endurance, patience, and resilience. In many ways, it is about justice because those who held on to the dinar through the toughest times may now see their loyalty rewarded. Not everyone is ready to celebrate. Some investors are cautiously optimistic, but keep their emotions in check. They remind others, until the rate is live on bank screens, it's not final. Until Forex officially lists the IQD at a new value, nothing is guaranteed. This skepticism serves as a shield against disappointment. These investors have seen too many false starts to let themselves get carried away at least not yet. Despite the mix of excitement, fear, and caution, there is one unifying force: hope. The global IQD community is buzzing like never before. Online forums, YouTube channels, Telegram groups, and investment communities are alive with discussions, prayers, and countdowns. People are not just hopeful for themselves there, hopeful for Iraq as a nation. A strong dinar means a stronger Iraq, and that could inspire stability, prosperity, and respect on the world stage. The emotional roller coaster is real and intense. Excitement pushes people forward, anxiety holds them back, relief softens their fears. Skepticism keeps them grounded, and hope ties them together. At the end of the day, this RV is more than a financial event, it's an emotional journey of faith, resilience, and belief in the impossible becoming possible. With the Treasury's confirmation of RV rate processing, investors now find themselves standing at the edge of history. The question is no longer if, it's when. But as this moment approaches, investors must be prepared, strategic, and calm. Here's what comes next. Once the new rate is live on bank screens, the official exchange window will open. This means holders of Iraqi Dinar IQD and Vietnamese Dong VND will finally have the chance to convert their currency at the revalued rate. Major banks involved? Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and other Tier 1 institutions are expected to handle exchanges. Appointment system. Investors may need to book appointments to avoid chaos at branches. All denominations accepted. From 5K notes to smaller bills, everything will have value at the new rate. Being ready with your notes, IDs, and documents will make the process smoother and stress-free. Many investors are so focused on the exchange rate that they forget about tax obligations. Depending on your country's laws, RV profits may be subject to capital gains taxes, ordinary income tax brackets. Foreign asset reporting requirements. Smart investors are already consulting with financial advisors, CPAs, and tax attorneys to create a plan. The last thing you want is to gain wealth, only to lose a huge portion due to poor planning. Exchanging currency is just the first step. The real challenge begins afterwards. Managing wealth wisely. Debt freedom. Many will pay off loans, mortgages, and credit cards instantly. Smart investment. Instead of spending recklessly. Wise investors will put money into real estate, businesses, or diversified portfolios. Generational wealth. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to set up children and grandchildren with a legacy of security. The RV isn't just about fast, rich as it is about. Building a future that lasts. Excitement of sudden wealth can be overwhelming. We've seen stories of lottery winners and athletes who became broke within years because they lacked discipline. That's why seasoned investors remind everyone, stay humble. Move cautiously. Avoid flashy spending early on. Surround yourself with trusted advisors instead of opportunistic friends. This phase is not just about money, it's about mindset and maturity. For Iraq and Vietnam, revaluation means stronger economies increased, foreign investment, better trade relationships, national pride restored. For investors worldwide, it's a reminder that patience, faith, and strategy can pay off in ways that change lives forever. We are standing at the threshold of something historic. Investors who have held on through years of doubt are now preparing for the most important stage of their journey. The key now is to stay prepared, seek professional advice, think long-term, protect your wealth wisely, because when the exchange window opens, the world will see not just the rise of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong, but the rise of a new generation of financially free individuals. As we reach the end of this journey, let us step back and look at the entire story of the Iraqi dinar IQD and Vietnamese dong VND revaluation, the excitement, the speculation, and now the Treasury's confirmation of RV rate processing all point to one reality. Change is here. This isn't just about exchange rates. It's about economic stability in Iraq and Vietnam, global forex, shifts that affect trade and investment, generational wealth for those who prepared wisely, a message of patience, rewarded. Those who held on through the storms are now at the dawn of financial freedom. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong is more than financial news. It's a symbol of resilience. Investors who believed when others doubted are now witnessing history. But the real test begins now. Will you simply spend your new wealth, or will you use it to create a legacy? The choice is yours. The RV is not just about money, it's about opportunity, responsibility, and the chance to change not just your life, but the lives of generations to come.